Okay, so now can you hear me over there? Wow, that's incredible. So that has to actually be on. Thank you so much for testing this. This was a relief. I do see now the audio. Yeah, okay.
It's got like
Fixing problems since day one.
5-second delay.
Okay, we've got all that going. We've got the thingamabobber going. It is pretty loud, but that's to be expected for condenser microphones. We're gonna test audio.
Early dawn on an autumn day, had wind blowing west from way. Crew makes the ready to sail at light. Helmsman sees not a storm in sight.
Hey Megan, good to see you. I hope you can hear me. Yeah, live stream is starting in 9 minutes. So I'm going to walk around. I won't be here on screen. If anyone has questions in the audience, I'll leave them to you. Okay. All right, so technically we've started the live stream. I'm going to give this about 5 minutes of runtime, just to let people show up, and then we'll go ahead and get started. For any latecomers, we are going to get started in about 2 minutes now, just to let people roll in, and we'll get started at 6:35. All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining us. You may be wondering, what are we doing today? So let me explain. About a year ago, I had just finished a Christmas album and realized, you know what? There's a lot of Christmas songs, but not a lot of Thanksgiving songs. You know why there aren't a lot of Thanksgiving songs? Because gratitude doesn't comply with consumerism. Contentedness doesn't sell toys. But a wise vegetable once told me, a grateful heart is a happy heart. Well, my friends loved the idea of a Thanksgiving album and got to work writing their songs. Some beautiful songs, some silly, and some legendary, as you're about to hear. I had the honor of orchestrating and producing the album that we're presenting today. These songs touch on major themes surrounding the fall season. Themes like family, transformation, history, and pumpkin spice lattes. Before we get much further, I should explain what we're planning to do this evening. Tonight, we should turn our attention towards not just the songs, but the songwriters on the album, getting a glimpse into the lives of the authors of the songs. We'll briefly interview them, then listen to their song together. After each song, we'll have some time for questions from you, the audience. On that note, I have some instructions. If you think of any questions while we listen to the song, go ahead and put the question in the live stream chat as early as you can think of it. There's apparently quite a delay before I can see your messages, so the earlier you can input those, the better. Lastly, as our first artist makes their way forward, I'd like to direct your attention to the description of this live stream video, which will serve as the program notes for this live stream. So we'll be having a list of the songs as we perform them, along with the names of the artists that wrote them. And there should be some details about where to find the artists online, things like Facebook and Instagram, if you want to give them a follow. Without further ado, let's welcome our first artist, Nolan Sorsby.
Hey, everybody.
So, Nolan, go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience and share how we met.
Cool. I'm Nolan Sorsby. I am from Grants Pass, Oregon, which is a small little town in southern Oregon. I moved to Nashville about a year ago, so I've been living in Nashville for the last year and a couple months. Songwriter, musician, guitar player, aspiring creative, and I write songs.
Awesome.
Kenji and I met at Liberty. We met at school, and I remember you asked me to do this project that was like a medieval guitar thing. It was like a short film. Yeah, do you remember?
I forgot about that.
Do you remember that? That was like one of the first times that I feel like we really connected because you were like, hey, I think you had seen me play On the Earth.
You showed me a video, I think.
Okay. Yeah. And so
that was crazy.
Yeah, and so you're like, hey, do you want to come play like this on this track?
That's right. You played on my film score.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah. And so that's like how we really connected, I feel like. So
yeah, for our first recording session together.
Yeah, right.
Very cool.
Right.
Okay, so I've got a few questions for you, Nolan.
Yeah.
The first thing is, what is your favorite thing about fall?
So this here is a spectacle. This is called the pumpkin spice latte, and I had to get one right before this live stream because, okay, so maybe pumpkin spice latte is not my number one favorite thing, but it's definitely in my top three.
It's in your hand.
It's
gotta be
kind of there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nolan, tell us a little bit about your song. We're about to play "The Legend of the Mayflower." Oh, Captain. I'm actually going to be trying to move physical subtitles around while we're listening to the song. If that falls apart, I'm just going to lay back and we'll move this out of the way. But we'll see if physical subtitles work for you guys. Okay, so Nolan, tell us a little bit about your song and what inspired you to write it.
Yeah, so I had, like I mentioned before, the medieval guitar thing. That's kind of a sound or a style that I've been crafting and working on. And when Kenji had mentioned that he wanted to do a Thanksgiving album, I was trying to come up with ideas of songs to write for it. And I wanted to write about the early Pilgrims, like kind of like a traditional sort of sounding, like a story about, you know, why we have Thanksgiving. And because I don't know if there's a lot of songs, maybe somebody knows about songs that I don't, but I haven't heard a lot of Thanksgiving songs that have to do with that. So
There's not a lot.
yeah,
Really
so I wanted to write one, but what it ended up becoming is this kind of epic sort of story that is very much akin to a legend. Because at first it was just the chorus, you know, "Oh Captain," but you know, I think you had said, "What if you called it the Legend of the Mayflower?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I thought about it, and yeah, that makes sense. I definitely want to incorporate both names into the title. So
Right. And it turned out to be an awesome title. Okay. So what should the audience listen for as we play your song?
the lyrics,
The lyrics.
their lyrics,
yes.
yeah,
The lyrics.
because it's a story. It's a story, and it's just kind of one of those journeys that you can follow along with, and I hope that the story speaks for itself, and that, you know, it enriches your soul, hopefully.
That's the best you can ask for from any song. Okay, so now let's turn our attention towards the song "Legend of the Mayflower." Oh Captain. We'll listen through it. Please put any questions you have in the chat. Hopefully this is still working. I've never done this before, but if it's working, just give me a thumbs up, and we'll go ahead and listen to the album.
Early dawn on an autumn day, had wind blowing west from way. Crew makes the ready to sail at night. Helmsman sees not a storm in sight. Aboard the Mayflower sojourn, eager for virtue and liberty's yearn. Across the Atlantic we hope to find land of plenty and glory, leaving behind the land we love, trusting in the providence of our God, reckless abandon for all we know. Destiny calls us to the table, it's waiting for us. Oh, Captain, set us a course by the stars. Get out, lest we forget who we are. Oh, my Captain, set us a course by the stars. Make it happen, lest we forget who we Facing the hardships of the new world, destiny calls us to the table, it's waiting for us. We're willing and able for what we seek. We'll pay the price beyond all abandon. We'll lay down our lives. The crew makes the ready. We'll sail that light. The captain will guide us. So captain, set us a course by the stars. Make it happen, lest we forget who we are. Oh my captain, set us a course by the stars. Make it happen, lest we forget who we are.
Amazing. Good job, Nolan. Let's give him a round of applause. Very good. Very good. Okay, now we're going to see if there's any questions in the chat. I don't know how much of a delay there is anymore. But if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. If not, we're going to go ahead and move forward onto the next song. Okay, so the next song is No Reservations, written by Joseph Bryce. Joseph could not join us for this live stream, but Joseph is a good friend of Nolan's, so I'm having Nolan stand in for him to introduce Nolan, share how they met, and then this one is worth making longer. Yes, that's very true. Sorry, there's a question from the chat, not a question, but a suggestion. Nolan, that song should be made awesomely longer. We should make like an hour loop of that song. It does end much too quickly. It's like a long, like a glorious moment.
Right.
But maybe that's the best things are things that die. You know?
Short and sweet. Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
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 Or long and bitter. I don't know. Oof. I mean, well, we'll move on from there. Great point. Great point, Ms. Steins. Okay, so the next song being No Reservations. Nolan, could you share how you and Joseph met? What your connection is there?
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Yeah, so Joseph and I also met in Lynchburg, but we met at church. And I didn't know he was a musician at first. You know, he was just kind of one of the guys that went to my church and just like, oh, yeah. And then one day I figured out he played guitar and sang. And little did I realize he is an amazing, amazing musician. Absolutely incredibly talented. He's a country singer, and he came and visited me in Nashville, you know, and that connection just started growing more and more until when Kenji suggested, hey, like Thanksgiving album, I'm like, it kind of like hit me a little bit too late, but it ended up working out. I was like, wait, Joseph would be perfect for this album because he showed me this song, and we just made some slight adjustments, and he came in, recorded all the instruments himself, sang on it, and
What a legend.
It just absolutely.
He came in like a what would you call it? A cowboy in the night. He just like, so literally he rolled in at 2 a.m. I was asleep. He was supposed to call me and my phone was dead. So he slept in the car in the rain at that night. That was insane. He's such a legend, man. And then obviously he's such a wonderful gentleman.
Yeah, he's great.
And an amazing musician. Amazing. We had mics set up. It was like, what would you say? Like 3 passes usually. And then we'd like do a little bit of correction takes and whatnot, but just insanely good vocalist and guitarist and otherwise string musician. I do notice there's a question from the previous song. There must be a very long delay. It's from Emily Kuhn. Hello, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Yeah, we recognize you. Hello. Oh, man, how are you doing? So your question is very bardic. What inspired the cinematic orchestration surrounding the guitar for the Legend of the Mayflower?
Yeah, that's a you question.
That's a me question. Yes. So which came first, the chicken or the egg? So for all of these songs, the song came first, obviously. That's obvious. But the way I produced it in Logic is I had, when I could, I recorded the kind of foundational instrument. So Nolan played the guitar on most of these songs, no reservations being the only exception. So for Legend of the Mayflower, Nolan played the guitar, he sang a vocal line, and then I went to work orchestrating that. I did what Cody Fry likes to call a text painting, which obviously that term has been around longer than Cody Fry. But text painting is where you bring the words of a song to life through the music, which is a super esoteric kind of mental thing.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Oh, hello. Hello, Nolan's mom. We're finally seeing your message in the chat. Hello. Yes, so basically that's what I did. I went through the song line by line. I actually started with the sound effects. There's an ocean sound that you'll hear in the beginning and the end. There's some wind noises, which is just me blowing on a microphone and adding a ton of reverb and hoping it sounds good. And then for the biggest moment of that song, I wrote the brass part first with the mod wheel all the way up, just to see if I could orchestrate to that point, and I did as best I could. So nice to meet you, Kim, Miss Bruhard. Did I pronounce that right?
That's exactly how it's pronounced, actually.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. Okay, so now back to No Reservations. Unless there's any more questions from the audience, I'll pick them up as we go along. But so you were introducing Joseph.
Yeah,
and
Joseph.
how you met.
Yeah, so we met at church.
Right.
And yeah, amazing musician, wonderful guy. I'm bummed he's not here, but his song will speak for itself. It's a great song, and you have notes about that, right?
I do have his notes, so
Cool.
you don't need to share the song
Great.
notes. But thank you so much,
Yep.
Nolan. Let's give Nolan a round of applause. Very good, very good. Okay, so I'll give a little bit of a brief introduction. So, like Nolan said, I met Joseph through Nolan. Nolan's a good friend of Joseph's. He came and recorded his song, and then, honestly, this is the only song that I didn't orchestrate at all. It is a classic country song, and whatever I tried, honestly, it just sounded so good on its own that I felt that touching it at all with any kind of extra stuff was just fluff. It wasn't necessary. It didn't enhance the song. So this is the cleanest track on the album. It only has 6 tracks in the Logic session. Very small. Let's see, what else should I... Okay, so Joseph did write a little blurb. It's actually a long blurb. It's 2 pages. So I'm not reading all of this. But there you go. He's an awesome guy. He's got a lot of very, very good thoughts on here. I wish I could read all of it. But I'll go ahead and read just a few points just to get the gist of who Joseph is and what his character is like. Okay. So this is Joseph. When I picked up the guitar, I intended to be a great star. I am currently in my 3rd year of medical school. This is a straying from the path of my original intention. That said, I engage in schooling as much as I can muster, and I started down this path with full knowledge of both the demands and the rewards it would entail. Making music is all I ever wanted to do when I was young, and I did lots of it. As time went on, I learned, or I was taught, to use music as a means to selfish ends. Wormtongue taught me, and I fell for lies. Follow your dreams, they said, and that's what I was doing. But I knew what I was doing. My musical endeavors were tainted by my insatiable appetite for recognition, for worship. I have to say it is hard to navigate this as a musician. This is true. When people are watching, listening, clapping, and shouting for you. And you watch as your own heroes stand tall above the crowd, soaking up the glory you wish you had. People give their time, their money, and their most precious attention to the star who feasts on it. These are my heroes, the people I wanted to be. As I grew in my musical abilities, I thought I was entitled to the same feast. The seed of a dream that was planted grew up with weeds, nasty weeds. So when the opportunity arose, I allowed the whole crop to die. So he shares a little bit more about his first album, which as a summary was indeed his grasping for attention and trying to do what the world wanted. The weeds, as they were, grew up with his seed. So I will try to have faith in God and allow him to turn my own thorns and dead skins into something of eternal value, even greater than the original plan. And I take those dead skins seriously because that same dying star wore them as he died and wears them as a resurrected and eternal covering even now, scars and all. No Reservations, the song that we're about to play, was written during COVID while I was waiting tables. That information alone may help the song to make sense. While multiple people told me to forget the COVID aspect of the song as it wasn't exactly obvious or necessary, I could not let go of the opening lines. They were written not to make sense, but to sound good. I am unapologetic about making lyrics that simply sound good and working around them to give them meaning. Well, the spread is so last timber, and well, the summer's almost over. It just goes too well with the guitar riff that is the base of the song, and you'll hear it. It's very good. So No Reservations was written around that guitar lick. He had big dreams for the song, and they were written with a whole album in mind as part of a larger project with a common theme. The theme has to do with the fall of man and putting skins of the flesh and the salvation that comes through them. That might be a typo. I do hope the project will be recorded, but if it is, it will probably mean that it has not been finished and will definitely mean that it has taken on a life of its own and strayed somewhat from the original intention. That is how this song came about, and that is a common theme in my own life, and maybe yours too. But you have to record these things at some point. It helps to remember them. I am sorry this is so long-winded. When I am truly an artist, I will be able to put it all and more into just a few words. Now that is a song I want to listen to. And listen, we shall.
Well, the spread is so last timber. Well, the summer's almost over. I can feel the fall stepping up to the porch. I inspirate on normal days before. You were swinging down my home street, dancing on my broken heartstrings. Can you feel the fall when you look to the stars? I intonate a word, a tune, a door. The concert halls are all sold out at half capacity. Once upon a timers are all shut out, except for you and me. If you call my restaurant, I will wait on no one else. I have no reservations now. I have no reservations now. Each song, so many sides empty. room into Main Street. Riding down and send the mail back to the stars. A letter learned us back to worlds before. The concert halls were all sold out at half capacity. But once upon a time, those are all shut out, except for you and me. If you call my restaurant, I will wait on no one else. I have no reservations now. I have no reservations now.
Very good, Joseph. I hope you get to see this later. I'll give a little bit of info about the production so that just gives you time to ask any questions if you have any. So the song, as I mentioned before, is the smallest in the Logic project simply because Joseph is such a fantastic musician. He played all the instruments, and I felt that there was no need to add anything. Right. What all was there? So there was his voice. There was a guitar. You might have heard. There's a guitar. There's a mandolin. There's a dobro, which is essentially a metal-ish guitar that you put on your lap and you play with a piece of metal on the strings, so it slides around instead of, playing with your fingertips. Although you can play with your finger, maybe.
Yeah, it's like a slide.
It's like a slide. Okay, there you go. Answer from the audience. I phoned a friend. Come on in as well. Okay, so without further ado, we'll move on to the next song. I realize we are moving very slowly, so I'm going to try to pick up the pace. We've only done 2 songs so far. Without further ado, let's welcome the next artist up to the stage, Daniel.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Okay, Daniel. So Daniel's song is... I'm blanking. It's the Fall. I have an entire thing. The name of the album. Holy cow. It's the cow from heaven. Okay, so Daniel wrote the namesake song for this album. It encompassed the feel of the whole album, and I'll just stop talking because we really need to keep going. So Daniel, please tell us a little bit about how we met and introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I met Kenji in a freshman class of composers at Liberty University. So we were just making our start 6 years ago, learning about this whole thing. And here we are now, producing an album. It's just really exciting. About myself, I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. Got 2 siblings, my parents, and I am the husband to my wonderful wife, who is a great inspiration to me as well.
Get a room. Awesome. Well, Daniel, I've got a few questions for you.
Sure.
First, what is your favorite thing about fall?
Oh, I like so many things about the fall. I like hiking. I like just being with family, and I like the colors and just the feel of the fall. It's just...
Save some answers for the rest of them. It's okay.
It's a wonderful season, and it's my favorite, so I could talk about it forever.
Very good. Very good. We all love fall. That's why we're making this album. It's amazing. Best season ever. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your song, It's the Fall. What inspired you to write this song? So
this song actually came from a challenge by Kenji himself. He challenged me to write this song. I wish I could tell you more, but you're going to have to listen and see. But basically, what I can tell you is that I wrote it in the summer, obviously. It's still the summer. But I wrote it with Thanksgiving in mind. And I realized just how fast the year passes by. and it's just a blur. But around Thanksgiving, we have this time to just pause and reflect. And so the image of sitting around the dinner table at Thanksgiving, just talking with family and like being in the moment, enjoying it, that was just really important to me. And so this song encapsulates the nostalgia of the season. But it also captures like some of the awkwardness, like what do I say? What am I thankful for around the Thanksgiving table? So you'll catch that in there as well.
Awesome. And the last thing is, what should the audience listen for in your song?
So you should listen for what my actual favorite part of the fall is.
So Daniel's actual favorite part of the fall is.
You're gonna have to see it.
So listen close. Okay, so we'll turn to the song. Give it a listen.
Another year is passing by, fast as the glow of the firefly. The summer is gone, the season is new, and everything has changed. The bright colors of fall are coming again, and the family's gathered anew. Sitting round the table, saying why we're grateful. And all that I can think to do is say, da-da-da, it's the fall, and I am thankful for you all. But there is something I should say. It's the season for a really special latte, latte, latte. Latte, latte, latte. Now my family's looking at me strange. They must think that I have gone insane. But what can I say? I like my latte. Bring it with some pumpkin spice. Cause when you serve it that way, it tastes real great. But I hope I'm not too late. Cause it isn't always here. Just one time each year. And then it's gone just like the amber leaves. Da-da, it's the fall, and I am thankful for you all. But there is something I should say. It's the season for a really special latte, latte, latte. Latte, latte, latte. Da-da-da-da, pumpkin spice lattes, they're really great on autumn days. Da-da-da-da, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves, cinnamon and espresso, with milk that has been steamed, and extra whipped cream, sprinkled with tons of pumpkin spice. Do-da-da-da, it's the fall, and I am thankful for you all. But there is something I should say. It's a season for a really special latte, latte, latte. A pumpkin spice latte.
Big round of applause. Daniel. Very good job. Okay, Emily Kuhn. That was both adorable and epic. We all agree, Emily.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so let's see. What was your experience producing the album, or that song rather?
So the way I start many of my songs is using the voice memos on my phone and just like recording whatever I want to sing, whatever seems like it fits. And it usually goes through a lot of different renditions. And when I look back on them, most of them are like, oh yeah, I'm glad I didn't go that direction because it makes me cringe. So like 100 voice memos later, we have some semblance of a song. And some of my greatest inspiration is just being on the road, driving around. I DoorDash. And so I'm in the car for several hours on end. And so I have plenty of time to just like sing. And so that's where a lot of the inspiration comes, just taking the time and letting it go where it wants to go.
Mm-hmm. And that's really why I wanted to showcase the artists and the songwriters in this live stream, because there's a lot of effort that goes into writing a song even before it's recorded. There's a lot of work in recording and producing, but the sense that, sometimes a song will come to you, but sometimes a lot of time it takes a lot of work and a lot of pulling invisible threads and hammering the lyrics until they do what you want. And then
getting rid of some lyrics, even ones that you like, but don't serve the song as well as they could.
yes, they're the songs that you need, but not the songs that you deserve.
Think about that.
Think about that when you eat dinner tonight while you're watching these. Hello, Tara. Hello. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. It's good to see you. Okay. Thank you, Daniel. Good job.
Thank you, guys.
Now we'll turn our attention towards what is the next song? Like a Leaf, written by Sage and Simple, not me. This is Morgan. She has been secretly on the phone. You'll see Seth as well. He's on this phone call. So this is Morgan. Say hi, Morgan.
Hi.
Okay. Hopefully the live stream can hear a Google Meet at the same time as whatever else is going on here. Awesome. So Morgan, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and how we met?
Okay, my name is Morgan Williford. I am a wife and a mom and sometimes a music teacher. No, I teach music part-time, but mostly I'm holding babies. One baby. She's a lot to handle. Anyway, I met you freshman year. You were in one of my first classes.
It's true.
And you introduced yourself by the name Paul, and I was very confused for several weeks when our mutual friends called you Kenji.
Not.
And I thought it was a Paul and a Kenji, and then I found out it was the same person. But I'm glad that we know each other well enough now that I know that you are Paul and Kenji.
Man, Paul and Kenji look really similar. It must be because they're Asian. Awesome. Thank you, Morgan. And to be fair, all of our teachers were calling me Paul because that's the name that was on the sheet. It's my first name, Paul Kenji Standlee, but I've gone by Kenji since before time immemorial. And I was introduced to the name Paul around third grade. So that's all the story we'll give on that. So I've got a few questions for you, Morgan. First, what is your favorite thing about fall? Bless you.
I don't like the fall. It breaks the season.
Hang up!
I'm so sorry.
What?
I think my favorite thing is that the cold weather is an excuse to drink more tea.
Even more tea. Wow. Yeah, seriously, a plot twist. Wow, we had a traitor living among us. I would never have guessed you, Morgan. I would have guessed somebody else. Awesome. So, okay, moving on very quickly from that. What inspired you to write Like a Leaf?
This was one that just came really easily. I was on a road trip between Virginia and Michigan, and it was October, so, fall. And I was like, I'm going to write a poem on this road trip because it's, 14 hours. And so I wrote a poem. And it was one of those that just happened. Like, there was very little editing. I was trying to find the first draft while I was waiting, and I did not find it because I'm not home. But, it was easy. I just was on the road seeing all the trees, and I was like, leaves, fall. Yeah.
Man, you're turning everything we're saying here on its head. You write the easy songs. You don't even like fall.
All of my other songs are hard, I promise.
A likely story. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Just as a little bit of background, Morgan is not in America right now. She is awake way past her bedtime. It's probably like 9 o'clock there or something, just like way past her bedtime. Okay, awesome. So the last question is, what should the audience listen for during your song as we listen?
Okay. I was trying to find the best way to explain this, but I love the way the orchestration, for one, kind of foreshadows what's coming, but also just like it just makes the song so much better. So yeah.
Oh.
And there's a surprise ending that Kenji says is not funny, but I think is very funny, and I laugh every time I hear it. So I hope it's funny to you because no one else thinks it's funny.
No one else. Oh man, so sad. Well, hopefully the audience will laugh for you. Sympathetic. And okay, we'll turn our attention to the song "Like a Leaf." Oh, this is really hard to do with one hand. Wait. Phone on the stand? That's brilliant. Oh my goodness. I've got 2 brain cells and they're working really hard right now. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn our attention towards Like a Leaf, but written by Morgan Williford. Sage and simple.
I wanna live much like a leaf, forever gentle, strong, serene, with sweet aroma and lively green, full of hope and fresh to breathe. I want to live like a leaf. Much like a leaf, I'd like to change, and growing wiser as I fade, become a part of the display of the beauty only autumn makes. I want to live like a leaf. When trouble comes, I hope to steep with confidence that boiling will only ever make of me a most delightful cup of tea.
Amazing. Good job, Morgan. What a very beautiful song, Morgan. Good job. Explain the joke, please.
It's
What?
funny.
It's not.
Are you really pretty? Like this leaf is like, oh, it's green, and then it's like, oh, it's changing colors because it's autumn, and then all of a sudden,
it's dead?
it's
Is that the joke?
and it's dead. It's so
I knew it. Oh, man.
dead leaf.
Morgan is a sweet, sweet, innocent girl until you get to know that her humor is the darkest on the planet. Carl! Okay.
That hurts people.
That hurts people. If you know, you know. Okay. So we had a question from the audience. Emily Kuhn, awesome question. Are you guys using a particular sound library on most of the tracks? The mix performance is wonderful. Thank you so much. The mix took a week straight. I am not good at mixing, but I did my best. I don't have a lot of good mixing software, so all I did was I put limiters on everything, literally everything, multiple limiters on everything. And then I I automated the volume throughout the track to try to highlight the important stuff, particularly the vocals. But yeah, that's all the mixing is. I will be making some, song breakdowns, Logic session breakdowns for some of these songs. So just let me know, Emily, if you have any particular ones you want to hear. Very good. Awesome. So thank you, Morgan. Wonderful job. We'll give her a round of applause. Very good. So our next guest is a short cameo. Hopefully you can hear. Okay, yes. It's a short cameo from a a backing track, session musician for the next song, which is called Maple Syrup. Please welcome to the stage, Dylan Wright. Okay. I really just wanted to give you a brief cameo, just to be super clear. Dylan did not write the song. He played clarinet on the song. Please look forward to listening to that. But I did just want to showcase that Dylan is indeed a wonderful friend and a amazing clarinetist, flautist, saxophonist, and soon-to-be oboist and bassoonist. And he calls himself a doubler, but indeed he is a quindoubler, at minimum. He plays at least 10 instruments right now, ? You give him anything that requires the breath from his lungs, and he can most likely play it. He nods, not because he's prideful, because he seriously can play anything you put in his hands. Ridiculous man. Very good. So thank you for making a cameo, Dylan. You don't have to stay on screen much longer. Good job. Instead, we'll be inviting the songwriter. Oh, Tammy Wright said hi.
Thanks, Mom.
That's your mom. Thanks, Mom. Love you too. Very good. Okay, so instead we'll be inviting the songwriter for the song Maple Syrup, Nolan Sorsby.
Hi, everybody.
Nolan, we've seen you before.
Yeah, sorry, I just can't.
He can't get away. He writes too much. I can't stop producing him. Help! Send money to my parents.
By the way, so we're all wearing the same color, and that was not coordinated at all. We all literally are wearing the same shade.
Oh my word! Except from that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I did not get the memo. I'm wearing blue. Everyone's wearing like a maroon. A very fall color in hindsight. This is very...
Hey, Tara.
Hi, Tara. Awesome. So we'll skip the introduction since the audience knows you're a good, awesome beard now. Instead...
about the song?
Yes. The question is... about Maple Syrup. What inspired you to write?
Yeah, so this song's one big joke.
All right.
I don't even know where to start with this one.
Yeah, do you have to explain the joke on this one too, Morgan?
It's a lot of different things. There's breakfast and there's beavers and there's maple syrup.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening in this song, but I like irony as a writing device.
Yeah.
I have a song that maybe some of you know called LaCroix, or the LaCroix song, and it's about how I don't like LaCroix. So so that song is ironic, just like this song. But I think that this song is a little bit more. It's a slightly different character. Like I don't want to give too much away, but we're thinking about like doing a different version of it.
Oh yes, keep an eye out.
So it's like
It's funny.
So like I basically would be singing in a beaver voice, as if like the beaver is the one telling the story about going to eat breakfast and and all this
It's
stuff.
awesome. We're gonna
So listen for that, and obviously listen for the clarinet because it's marvelously done.
Your mom said I knew it.
So here's maple syrup.
Yes, we'll go ahead and listen to it right before. I guess the question what the audience should listen for is already explained. So we'll just go ahead and start listening
Clarinet
to
and
it.
jokes.
So maple syrup.
I sit down and I order me some pancakes, and then I get a side of waffle fries at my favorite local diner. I go there frequently. Breakfast is the most important meal, and it's all about the maple syrup with the honey tea. Canadians, they write the best country songs. They know a thing or two about the scene. Life is hard there in Alberta. The air is thin as can be. Hockey is the greatest sport, and they like the maple syrup with the honey tea. Beavers build bridges, then they run and hide, 'cause Canadians keep them as pets inside. Competition keeps their nose to the grind, and loggers steal all their trees. Life ain't easy for a beaver, doesn't have a choice, you see. At the end of the day, after all the hard work, he's got a stash of maple syrup so sweet. Well, autumn is the best season, and you could never change my mind. The fresh air and the pine cones, the colors of the leaves, mashed potatoes and a turkey breast with a side of maple syrup with some honey tea.
Great job, Nolan. Okay, so Nolan, we got awesome response. from
That's
that
my new
one.
favorite song.
First of all, it's a hilarious song. It's very good. Okay, so
Nice.
such an amazing French song. Yes, awesome. Oh, Andriana. Hey, Seth, Andriana's in the chat. Very cool. Okay, so question on the production. So let's just turn this around. What was the production like for you on your end?
It was really simple.
Really simple. Nice.
Kind of that country-ish backbeat sort of thing.
Yeah.
Boom, chick, doom, chick, doom, chick, doom. I kind of lighthearted, sort of bouncy sort of feel.
Yeah.
And I call my country style pseudo country. It's very like jokey and not really like.
It's Canadian.
It's Canadian country is what it is. Yeah. And so I just did the guitar. We might have layered the lead guitar the same day, before or after the vocal.
Oh, I think we did it at the same time.
Yeah. Because the
So
guitar.
Nolan did a backbeat guitar, and we went through and did some lead lines.
Yeah.
What you heard, dun 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 dun, and every time the guitar went, twing.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Fun
Yeah.
little sound bite there.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we copied that audio, but
Oh, we
it
might
sounds
have.
really
We might
similar.
have. Yeah.
No one says it's really easy. It really is easy if you're as good of a guitar player as
Oh,
Nolan.
stop.
He's really good. He just like sits there. He's like, oh yeah, this is easy schmeezy peasy, and he just lays down a track and boom. So very good. Awesome. Well,
Yep.
congratulations, Nolan, on your second song, and we'll be seeing you once more. Good job. So our next song is a song called Thanksgiving, written by Seth Reins. Now, Seth is a great friend of mine, coming from back in my, I think we met in middle school or perhaps high school. That's a nod from Seth. Okay, so Seth is on this call as well, wherever Morgan was. Morgan is being a trooper, by the way. It's like way, way, way past her bedtime, and she is hanging in there. But here's Seth. So Seth, please go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us how we met, and yeah.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? I'm Seth Reins. Just so everyone knows, I'm Diana, the girl who went to the chat. That's my wife. That's her hot wife. We're actually
Just so everyone knows.
So another fun fact, we're actually expecting our first little baby girl coming soon.
Oh, congratulations. They're celebrating their first baby girl, if you couldn't hear.
Thank y'all. But Kenji, we actually met in I think sophomore year of high school at church. I was the awkward kid who it was the first day, and I saw you in a group that you guys were talking, and the first thing I thought was, oh, he looks cool. So I just walked over and started talking to y'all.
Awesome.
The rest was history. Come to find out, I didn't know that you were playing. That you were a part of the worship band too. So you were playing piano. I'm like, oh man, this is cool. I'm a musician. This is real cool.
Yeah. At that time, I was playing the keys for the student worship band. So very cool. Yeah. So we met in the sophomore year, just in case you couldn't hear. And awesome. So the next bit is, so I've got some questions for you, Seth. First, what is your favorite thing about fall?
Personally, my favorite thing about fall, like many have stated already, it gets a little bit cooler, especially here in Texas. Sometimes it gets, depending on the year, it gets cooler. So I can finally wear sweaters and hoodies, and I don't have to feel like I'm going to start sweating uncontrollably. But I get to use blankets at night more often than not, which is nice. So that's my favorite part about the fall.
Get to break those blankets out 5 days out of the year. Yeah. Houston gets to below like 80 sometimes in the winter. And then around Christmas is definitely like 87. So that's when the sweaters come out and the hot chocolate. Everyone's freezing cold. If anyone from Oregon moves down to Texas, they're like in shorts during the whole winter. And it's awesome. Anyway, so Seth, please tell us a little bit about your song. Please tell us a little bit about your song, Thanksgiving. What inspired you to write this song?
So, I mean, can y'all hear me? Just make sure my mic turned on.
Yeah, your mic's on.
Oh, cool. Well, I mean, there's not much to tell. It's a song about Thanksgiving, and encompasses the whole, the stresses of the holidays. Because I think Thanksgiving is very much like Christmas, where it's stressful. Because not only are you doing last minute shopping, you're also trying to make sure the house is clean before all your family comes over, and that stresses me out sometimes. So I really wanted to have a song where it really encompasses that whole, the stress of the holiday, gathering together as a family, remembering everything that, family is about. It's not just about the food. It's not just about going out and making sure you have the best dish on the day of Thanksgiving. It's about family. I think that's why I really like this song. It's probably my favorite song that I've ever written in my life, because it really, I'm a huge family man, and writing anything about family it means everything to me. So
Yeah, and that's a very important theme with the fall season. Is as fall approaches, Thanksgiving and Christmas tend to be when families gather the most. aside from Easter. So that's a very good point. So Seth, what should the audience listen for when we play your song?
I'll be honest with you, probably nothing super specific. Just really just enjoy it. You know,
It's
just
a vibe.
kind of like I said, just kind of listen in for just think about everything that happens with Thanksgiving, all the stresses, gathering together as a family, make sure everything is clean before everyone comes over. Just keep that in mind.
Awesome. Very good. Awesome. Thank you, Seth.
A cool breeze blows through, and the leaves change colors. All the week it gets busy as the time it gets closer. Better grab your turkey and the ham before the shelves grow colder. Clean the house, clean the plates before the family comes over. Then in comes your mom, then comes your dad, your auntie Dory, Uncle Chad, and your brother and your sister with their little dog. All your cousins and grandparents are on the table. We all gather to say grace and share the meals we made on this beautiful Thanksgiving. On this beautiful Thanksgiving. After lunch is over, we hang out in front of the TV, watch the Thanksgiving Day parade. We enjoy our time together. Then we reminisce all the times, both good and bad. Then we tell some jokes we've heard many times before and have a laugh with your mama and your dad, your auntie Dory, Uncle Chad, and your brother and your sister with her little dog. All your cousins and grandparents up on the couch, and we all gather. Then we laugh for the rest of the day on this beautiful Thanksgiving. On this beautiful Thanksgiving. Oh. At the end of the day, we all say goodbye. Have a nice trip, we'll see you next time. Looking back at all the memories that were made, that's the power of family. With your mom and your dad, your auntie Dory, Uncle Chad, and your brother and your sister with her little dog. All your cousins and grandparents, until next time we will miss you. Drive home safe on this beautiful Thanksgiving. On this beautiful Thanksgiving.
Very good. Woo! Awesome. Great job, Seth. Fantastic work. We've got Karen Starn saying, love them all. Just a wonderful song, Seth. Great job. Just a little bit note on the production. I do want to mention that Nolan played the guitar on that one as well. He played the acoustic guitar and the electric guitar. The only two kinds of guitar there are. Wait. Okay, awesome. Round of applause. Great job, Seth. Wonderful. Okay. Thank you, Seth. All right, so the next song on our list is called Autumn is a Painting. It's written by Kenji Standlee. So welcome Kenji up to the stage. Hello. Oh, I should turn the mic on here. I'm doing 3 jobs right now. Okay, so. All right, Kenji. Tell us how we met. I've been waiting all night to do this. Well, you see here, Kenji, we met way before time immemorial. We've known each other since before I can remember. There've been some ups and downs in our relationship, but we've been together like this, through thick and thin, through fat and slim, through cultural shifts and economic downturns, and I can't think of anything else. Very good, Kenji. I couldn't have said so better myself. All right, so we've got a few questions for you, Kenji. First, what is your favorite thing about fall? Well, you see, the best thing about fall. Oh man, the thing about fall is it's not about how many times you fall; it's about how many times you get back up. So it's about your character. So my real favorite thing about fall, let me see. I do honestly, I like the fact that hot chocolate comes into play. You get to drink that more without sweating. So that's great. Blankets are awesome. And yeah, being able to not have the AC running 24/7, that's an awesome thing. So yeah, okay, awesome. So tell us a little bit about your song, Autumn is a Painting. What inspired you to write it? Okay, this is getting to be a workout. So Autumn is a Painting was written, whatchamacallit? It was written, that's what it was. So honestly, I just wanted to write a really poetic song about autumn. I felt like there are not enough of those because it's kind of low-hanging fruit to call autumn a really poetic season, you know? It's the death and transformation season. It's the colors drifting and the leaves drifting through the trees, and the trees are dying and so that they can give birth to new. I mean, it's so poetic. So I wanted to encapsulate that. So I cheated and I looked up a lot of cool poems on the internet, specifically by Rudyard Kipling and by Robert Frost, a number of those legends. Read a lot of them, ingested them, and then took kind of like that inspiration and wrote a bunch of poetic nonsense together. And that turned into this song. Okay. All right. So, what you, the audience, should listen for as we play the song. Okay, so the introduction and the outro is this musical idea that I've had in my head since before college. Essentially, it's my way of cheating through jazz. You take fifths and you kind of move them around the keyboard. And for whatever reason, it sounds amazing. I have not been able to use that yet until this album. And I finally put that idea into the intro and outro for this song. And I think it sounds as good as it can be for fake jazz. So, all right, so we'll go ahead and listen to the album. Hopefully there wasn't a ton of wind rustling, but all right. We'll listen to Autumn is a Painting.
Autumn is a painting, a masterpiece of transformation. There's beauty in the change, the chemistry of color to smile in wonder as 1,000 leaves flutter blissfully to their slumber. The world prepares for sleep. The gathering of cold finds us gathered in the folds of blankets. A time of reflection of fading dreams as the shadows deepen and the winter settles in. To the painter of autumn, let your glory never fade. Give us peace, peace in the dying of the light.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So we have a question from Emily Kuhn. What artists influenced your style here? I definitely hear the jazz, but also the pop classical, Michael W. Smith. That's an interesting question. This is one of those, how to explain it? So I'm so bad at writing lyrics that I can't write lyrics with music in mind. I have to write the lyrics and then make the music fit. The only way I could think to do that with these lyrics was the kind of jazz style that you heard. Also, I wanted the excuse to put that intro in there because it's literally been, like Isabel can tell you, it's literally been on my mind for years. I imagine that this song was kind of a culmination of all the influence that I've heard, particularly in the jazz realm. Man, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it was necessary to produce a song the way that it was. So hopefully that answers your question, Emily. I'm sorry. I just remembered you had another question earlier. Right. I forgot to answer the sound library question. I'm using cinematic studio strings in a very funny way. Again, I'll explain that in the song breakdowns on YouTube later. But that's like the core of this album. And then whenever there's brass and woodwinds, I'm using the Spitfire symphonic orchestral libraries. So, okay, I did want to point out something funny I did. So there's a poem that says, "Rage, rage against the dying of the light." And the message of that song is, don't let old age burn or fade away at the end of the day or something like that. I forget the exact words, but the message is, don't let your life fade away. Hold fast to your life and do what you can with the time that you have, which is a very valid message. But what comes with that message is a little bit of maybe anxiety or kind of pressure to make your life do something or to be valuable or something like that, which is not the full intent of the message. It comes with the territory. So the pressure of making your life mean something. So I wanted to counter that in this song. My little tiny push to that misconstruing. So I said, give us peace, peace in the dying of the light. This is written to God, Yahweh, the God of the Bible. And the essence is that our life comes from God. Whether we breathe or whether we stop breathing, whether we die, the Lord gives and the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And so with that territory, now keeping those two, hopefully this was enough of a connection there that rung a bell. But the idea is that, yes, take hold of your life and make it meaningful as much as you can, but do so with the peace of knowing that every breath you have is from the Lord, and that you don't need to wring every meaning out of your life. You can trust that the Lord has something for you in your life. So that's the intent of this, the last two bars, or rather, last two phrases of this song. So anyhow, we are going to move on to the last final song. Biggest surprise welcome to Nolan Sorsby.
Hey, everybody.
So Nolan, go ahead and introduce yourself. And
Hello, I'm Nolan Sorsby.
Whoa. Okay, so all we need to talk about is, could you please tell us a little bit about your song?
Yeah.
The next song being the last song of the album, What a Time to Be Alive by Nolan Sorsby.
Woo. So I actually wrote this song before COVID.
Whoa.
I wrote this song as like so I went to Liberty University. I started going in 2019, January 2019. And it was a transitional phase for me because I had just gotten out of the US Navy and I was stationed in Virginia Beach, just drove 3 hours, started a new life essentially. And, being from Oregon, it was a whole thought process of like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I wrote this song in the fall of 2019 as kind of my, because the first line of the song is, the autumn leaves fall upon the road in this humble town I now call home. So it was like kind of my reconciliation with living with this new chapter of my life. And so I then COVID happened and I recorded an EP in my little home studio bedroom thing. And it's online and you can listen to it and you'll probably just be like, okay, whatever, because it's just like, I recorded it in my bedroom. So, but, I guess I just thought like, yeah, this song's kind of about fall. It definitely is a folky kind of acoustic ballad sort of style, sort of vibe. And then, we came to it, and one of the things that basically you mentioned was that, hey, we should change the key, like let's try raising the key. So it was in D before, it's in E now. And it just fit my voice better in the higher key. And then because I just recorded guitar and vocals. And then he freaking went crazy and just orchestrated the heck out of it. And really took the song to an entirely new level that I would have never foreseen. But, I remember getting comments about the song when I first wrote it. Like I had a friend that I played it for, and they like, the message is really important, like it really is a message of gratitude. Like, what a time to be alive. What do we do with the time we have, kind of thing. And I think the orchestration really does something that makes the song significantly much more awesome and better. And it's great.
Awesome.
It's perfect.
as kind of a fore background, whatever you call it, precursor to the song, I procrastinated on this song because I did not know what to do with it when it was just a guitar and vocal. It was one of those songs that fits so perfectly by itself at that time that I couldn't, like Nolan said, I couldn't imagine the orchestration or anything that was going to happen. So I postponed it till like 3 days before I uploaded the album. It was like Wednesday, and I was uploading it on Friday.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I guess we're not putting the song on the album. Maybe not. But then I watched a Jacob Collier breakdown video. And if you don't know Jacob Collier, he's known for stacking his vocal like 1,000,000 times in one song. The average being about 400 tracks in his songs.
Yeah, just 400.
Just 400.
Yeah.
And I think that flicked the switch in my mind to just remove all barriers and to throw literally anything and everything I could at Nolan's song. Just because, knowing that you can always mute anything that doesn't sound good or re-record it or whatever. And so it was like something possessed me. I'm like, I say that as a Christian with like the Holy Spirit, but it was like when I started putting my voice on the song, which was the first thing I did, actually. I layered. No, wait. Did I? That was the second thing I did. But it was one of the first things that really made the song explode. But I started just recording layer after layer of, I think it ended up being 90 Kenjis singing at once. And the way Nolan described it was, to him, it sounded like an epic.
It's like the gates of heaven open.
The gates of heaven.
Yeah,
open.
it's like the light of God is shining through, and now you're seeing the angelic choir. It's like it's totally totally something.
And just because of the sheer number of Kenjis that we're singing, the limiter was hitting like -6 when I fully recorded it. It was really pumping. So I had to really mix the song. This song took me almost a day and a half to mix, just because. Yes. Okay. So let's go ahead and listen to the song, I think. Right. That's what the audience should listen for, etc. All right. We're listening to the song, What a Time to Be Alive.
The autumn leaves fall upon the road in this humble town I now call home. What a time to be alive. And the children playing in the leaves show the joys of life in the little things. What a time to be alive. People live in fear of what's coming around them, even if they eat to their heart's content. But all around the world I see the joy in their hearts. What a time to be alive. In this life I often feel alone, like rainy days drench you to the bone. What a time to be alive. With the stars guiding in the night, I pray to God to show me a light. What a time to be alive. People live in fear of what's coming around them, even if they eat to their heart's content. But all around the world I see the joy of tender eyes. What a time to be alive. trouble fades with the changing times. There is peace now, I have seen the light. What a time to be alive. Like the colors strewn across the yard, I have a change of mind, a change of heart. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
The end. Woo!
Yeah.
Wow, so good. Oh man, Nolan, incredible song as always.
Incredible orchestration.
Thank you very much. Awesome. I do want to make one more note. Nolan sang the. If you heard that last iteration of the ooh,
Yeah.
that was part of the original system that Nolan came and recorded. So that's where the choir idea kind of leapt off of. So I don't want to claim full credit for the choir. That's where that came from. So just to be clear. All right, awesome. Emily, in reality, I can't choose, but I think this is one of my favorite, or this is my current favorite. Do you find it difficult to channel life's challenges into creative forms, or has it become natural over time? Speaking to the inspiration for this.
Is that for me? That's a question for me?
That's a question for you, yeah. Do you find it difficult to channel life's challenges into creative form, or has it become natural?
I feel like it's more challenging, actually. Interestingly enough.
Bold words.
Well, because for me, something that has become detrimentally important to my craft of songwriting is for it to be clear and concise. We're like, songs have to mean something, and they have to be understood. When I was first writing songs, when I was first playing guitar, that was not my mode of operation at all. I was very much just feel it, go with the flow, kind of loosey-goosey,
Goosey.
And now maybe it's just because I'm at this age where I'm just like, everything has to make sense. I have to. So, navigating life's challenges, it part of the therapeutic aspect of songs or songwriting is that that songs can be understood. Well, like, for example, like the Beaver song, I'm drawing a blank. The song that I wrote.
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup, thank you.
It was too ironic.
Yeah.
His kidneys failed.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I just take words and I throw it at the page and I see what happens. But I also want to connect them because, okay, so we're talking about beavers now. We're talking about this. We're talking about that. So that's kind of but it eventually makes sense, right? Whereas it's like, okay, how do I take this thing that has happened to me and make sense out of it? Sometimes things just don't make sense. So it's like, so I guess I just write a song and trust that it'll make sense to somebody, but even if it doesn't make sense to me. But I don't know if that answers your question or, so it's really, I don't know. That's the answer.
To creativity 101. I saw a meme, I think it was today, I showed Isabel, and the meme was, what does it take for an artist to make art? And it was like a picture in, what would you call it? Like a Hobby Lobby, yeah. And the words were, what does it take for an artist to make art? It's art supplies and pain. It was the paint the T was cut off with the signs as art supplies and pain. Anyway,
Nice.
I feel like that's pretty accurate because you need some kind of strong emotion and driving force, and some kind of like reason that if I don't do this, I won't sit well. You know, I won't go to bed well. I have to do this. And there's a little bit of that impetus. Sometimes it is a deadline with classes, which is why college was a great thing for a lot of people, is having that deadline. You have to submit something.
Pressure's a good motivator.
Pressure's a good motivator. Pressure is sometimes pain. But otherwise, it's the inspiration is stuck in your head so much that you have to do something. For me to write as much music as I do, I just have the time pressure is a great advantage to me. It might be an overly stressful way of handling it, but I just overload myself with too many things going on. And then out of that, something has to happen.
Yeah.
So then something does happen all the time. So I end up not getting most of the stuff on my to-do list done, but that's okay. That's why they're there.
Yeah, it's like the whole diamond analogy, you know.
Yeah.
Like the diamonds were forged in the earth.
Yes.
Out of the pressures of
The pressures. Yes.
So for any aspiring artists, all you got to do is just overload your schedule. Just don't sleep, barely eat, and maybe you'll make something great.
If you survive. Welcome to the land of music, home of death and pain. Beavers and beavers.
And beavers.
It's not for the main.
Okay. Let's wrap up this live stream. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to the people in person that joined us. We have a bit of a crew here. Yes, so I'd like to congratulate the artists on the album once more for a job well done. Daniel wants to come up.
Yeah.
If Dylan wants to wave his hand in front of the camera, maybe. Yes, congratulations, Wahoo, to Seth, to Morgan, to Kenji, to Daniel, to Nolan, to Joseph, and that's everybody. All right, sweet. So big, and I also want to thank you, the audience, for sticking around. They're not wrong about the pain. Thanks, Seth. Yes, I want to thank you, the audience, for your participation and for your support. Music is meant to be shared, and you've made that possible for us this evening. So thank you very much. I also want to say thank you to my lovely wife, Isabel. She is a treasure and a gift from God, and I can't do what I do without her. So, distracting me the whole live stream. Welcome to Married Life. This live stream, just as a final note, this live stream will be published on my YouTube channel, Lord willing. So if you ever need to refer back to the information in the description or share it with your friends, share the live stream with your friends, please do. Just come visit. Thank you again, and have a lovely fall season. Goodbye.
Bye.